Well, it's the second day of the year, so I thought we'd get to work wearing a Army shirt. My alma mater is playing in the Armed Forces Bowl at the moment. 5-7. I thought you had to be 500 to go to a bowl game, but, you know, I'm not known for football at that school. It's funny, I had a roommate who was backup offensive line, and he was asked to gain 60 pounds, and he went on a diet and ate chicken and cauliflower for his health. So, priorities. And then, I know I normally catch people having a good day, and we're normally trying to play start of the year, good for deep thinking, far thinking. It's funny, the natives say 7 generations back and forward, that's your job. It takes a few rare cats like Elon to consider that the sun will, at some point, it gets bigger, and then we cook. So it's also good to even be beyond and thinking, a million years ahead, 1,000 years ahead, what have us. And so holes in the pants is my message for Elon. And I'm trying to garner support with this video. I do not expect Elon to see it, but I have a 3-chapter book coming for him. I would hope this year. You know how stuff is, details. And so YouTube is no longer anyone's friend. Hit the bell. I've never asked for anything. I really don't care if you do or don't. I prefer you do. And then I'm going to post a X profile I have that has been very, very deftly curated for the strike that is coming. It probably has like 6 followers. Please don't comment. It's pristine. Don't ruin it with your stupid thoughts. And it's very weird. You will be wondering how it could possibly work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Elon in as the head of the castle. I know people have mixed opinions about Elon. And then I'm going to attack him as the chief wolf. So wolves and vampires, hopefully Gen Z likes it. I didn't watch The Twilight, but I thought she was cute, the actress. I saw the ads. And I do know a fair bit about European history. And it was actually astral warfare, which is not what I'm going to talk about. I mean, I'm presuming that's what they're talking about, but there's a lot of European history that's about that stuff. It seems to me, what I did in my research for the book is my guides presented for at least 6 months as Mother Nature and Father Time. The wolf side is like the nature side, or the feminine side. The womb, the mystery. Very interesting. I much preferred her. Father Time, God, they know to serve their future selves. So the castle generally has the winning hand. Only they can get off planet. Only they have technology. Only they have weapons. And so I was born in the castle. My alma mater is very castle-y. Studied physics there. However, I spent much of my life training with the natives, initiated in Gabon, Buiti, and did a lot of wolfy stuff. And I have learned from the wolves. They answered me finally, my guides, after like 8 months. That I just learned from the wolves, but stay in the castle. You always want to stay home. Wealth, generally, frankly, is wise and gets a little... What's funny is I wrote only 2 chapters. This will be a funny thing. 3rd chapter, I'm about to write it, is where I do something wolfy. Because I'm from the castle. I was very polite. I put Elon in. I gave him a frame from some deep metaphysical things that, mind you, bless him, he's been doing so much. He hasn't had the chance to learn. But wolf style, I'm going to a little bit do some dark in the 3rd one. Like, where I grew up in Cleveland, in Chagrin, if you had a girlfriend, people wouldn't talk to her, Wolves, I had some time where I lived in Tampa. Oh my God, at the bar, all the tattoos, the crunchy hats. The whole time, you're like, oh my God, it's like exhausting. So wolves don't quite have the same code of conduct. However, the native side, or the home, or the critter side, wish my AC wasn't so loud. What's funny is I asked my owner if we could have a Tesla AC. I know they don't exist, but silent. Silent would be good. Chagrin, please be silent. I love you. And then, same for the alma mater. Just quiet. My book's going to be very, it will get there with him, and it will be very helpful. It's also going to be, I don't know, probably the strangest thing you'll notice from my X profile. I don't really use X. I find it too masculine and annoying. But I'm very glad Elon bought it and exposed a lot of the ninny that comes with. I don't like to trigger the Democrats because I do find them to be great allies. Generally, we all need to be friends. I only voted once, Ron Paul primary. He didn't win. I knew it then. I remember I know some financial advisors who manage like, one of them has over $1 billion he manages. And I told him, I was like, they're not going to catch this, the debt, and they're not even trying. Elon said the same thing. He's like, they're not even trying. Not to disparage our parents and our friends and our tribe, but generally they have not been trying here for a while as far as like a plan that works for future children. So I don't like to be, I know you guys could all be watching, Disney or ESPN, so I don't like to be the heavy hat. But, it's pretty dark out there. If you don't, I'll say this. So Friday, I ran outside my window, an animal was attacked. I didn't go peer on it because I didn't want to be needy, and my guide said it was fine. A big stag walked by later, but it sounded maybe like a cat. But the coyotes were getting it. I live here in Sedona. Castle Rock, rainy day. And I took a moment to go inside and get my glasses and get a medicine ball. I thought it'd be cool to have a weapon. But I'm sure in the 20 seconds that took me, that poor animal took like 2 shots to the leg, and he did make it, the animal or she. But it's weird. The game we have, if the good does nothing, the dark does win. And so we do need to make moves. And it is a time of great transition. And it should be heroic and triumphant and jolly and better than it's ever been. Holes in the pants though for Elon. So I find Elon, I know I have many opinions of his that I don't like. I don't want them to have chips in the brain. I don't want them to have an AI feed feeding them a stream. I'm not even sure I want humanoid robots. I know we'll have them. I know they'll be helpful. Like R2-D2 was cute and fun. They move too fast. They have many blind spots in their thinking. But in particular with Elon, what happened with him is he finally acknowledged the debt. I think he wanted to ride the left because of the EV ticket for his cars, And I, as a young man, studied, when I was 22, studied the Austrian school in objectivism, which, mind you, are still framework 1 physics, not the way. And the left feels that we're more united than they know. We're much less individuals than they think. It's a huge team sport. All the elements, all the critters, the universe. If you guys know about The Secret or the way things manifest, we all work together deeply to better ourselves and to come into, this is training here. This isn't a joke here. So one of the funniest things is it is largely a comedy, actually. But I ramble. Anyway, Elon has finally been like, oh my God, the interest on the debt's worse than the military budget. And, he was plugged in. He said, and this is why I think he should drive for a while. And I don't mean to be too hard on him. I think he's done a lot of courageous things, and he's funny, and he has a heart. And people are way too hard on him. They're shooting up his Tesla stores. That's why he had to step down. But he said he could have the budget and get better outcomes. But for the meanwhile, the position he's taking is AI and robotics will generate enough GDP growth, which to me is the most boring and horrible statement in the world, GDP growth, to outpace the debt. And so he was asked, well, what about all the, how's that going to work? If it's replacing jobs, is there any money for UBI? There is no plan. I have a plan. I'm going to put it in. I would presume Elon can make a better plan. He's very, very good at those things. When it comes to physical manipulation, he's by far their alpha. And people need to respect him and give him some space. My guys are saying haste. At some point, the advanced There's no democracy in advanced. You're like, oh, they're very good at that, let them do that. And sure, there could be councils and checks. I'm sure we could work with a democracy for a while so there aren't riots in the streets, but we're going to need to really change. It's not going to work electing all these. I mean, the people in Congress are like so dumb and not integral and not healthy. There's a few, I don't mean to, and there are some who are great, and I don't mean to baby bathwater the thing, but they're not going to get there. And the public is, again, I should be kinder. There's no reason to poll the public. So, anywho, I'm sure I've said things that sound like outrageousness, but the problem is very dangerous. It's 40 trillion, and the plan is not good. The numbers get worse as you go. Like Medicare, Social Security, none of it's going to work very well. The numbers just keep getting worse. And we all feel it, the inflation. Like, everything costs like $95 every single time. I'm not trying to complain. We live in the best times ever. Things have never been better. And we just have to keep going, and it accelerates. So the jumps we take and the moves we make and the speed we learn, even though in academics, it's exponential. We share information so much faster now. We bounce into each other. We hear from cultures all over the world. The last thing I wanted to say, one of the bigger jumps we're going to have to take is the one truth, one way. A lot of us, not to bring Charlie Kirk into this, but he, that was very divisive. Like, there are a lot of people who are like, yay, Charlie Kirk, and a lot of people. So to me, grossly, broadly, summarizing, there's a lot of people who have been like, no, we can't have one truth, one way. Like, we have to have science. And a lot of the gay trans is out of there. To me, gay, cool, trans, trip. I know there's allowed to be a few trans people, but very rare, and no surgeries. It's not good for them. They know so little about health. And the big step we all have to take, though, is we have to get out of and it's worldwide. So imagine it's a very primitive planet. They send teachers. Imagine God has a big round table. Imagine God pays, you could call it, elder students of his and imagine there are kind of tribes and so there are races, and there are teachings, and there are colors. Grossly speaking, the Chinese are the best listeners, or the Eastern way. They know the body the best. They know the Tao, or the way, or the feminine. India has a lot of good expression of Maya, or the nature of the place, and up and out, and meaning how to turn on and see more clearly. Maybe Buddha dialed it back a bit and taught peace. And then, Christ, we have the Christian way. God, I had a neater, you know what I mean? It comes to you and you're like, oh, that'd be neat. What was I going to say? Gold, yellow. We teach warmth, heart, winning, victory, triumph, wisdom, wealth, class. And only team that would set up a round table, meaning only team with the nukes that doesn't, they're the lightest color, they're white. Jews, the old way, marriage, it works. I initiated into a black tribe. The earth heaven codes are there. It's very, and I'm generalizing, any individual can out-hatch their stigma and do anything they want. I'm just saying we have to learn from each other. Even the Middle East, it's a reminder that we have to fight. It's a very bellicose, but there are foes. So we've all been here co-hatching this beautiful stew, and but we need to drop our one truth, one way, because we're not going to get there that way. We have to expand. Please check how large, what's it called? It's a Hawaiian name. Lanakala, there's some, but they have a map of it's very large. You're in a very large place. It's a very beautiful planet. It shouldn't be that hard for us. If we don't do well here, it will be embarrassing. And I'm hearing pleasant. We are doing well, and we have a lot to be proud of, and we're all coming together, and generally, everyone's like, let's be nice to each other. Come on, Putin, stop bombing old ladies. China, don't be weird. Don't do that to Taiwan. Like, we just need to calm down. Share a bit more. Do the wealthy people really need yachts? You kind of look like idiots. Like, they judge you upstairs. Like, oh, could have saved a village. Bought a yacht. And it's fun to have. We do want a few palaces and ballrooms, and I'm not, but do you need 20 roadsters? Do you even need one roadster? Maybe you do need one. Maybe it brings you joy. I'm just saying, we have to be a bit more keen, a bit more, and then the odd thing is, it pays you right now. You are healthier, happier. Your upstairs dharma is tracked, and it is reflected in your health and your well-being. Even your little body reflects it. So, 2026, Elon said it'd be the hardest year of our lives. I'm going to try and be playful. I'm going to try and be glad. And I think that's a good code. We have to let things go. Forgive our old foes. Just say sorry. We all have things to be like, oh my God, I was an idiot. Sorry. And then just try and be better. And have accountability, I suppose. But gentle is the way. And then we do still a little bit need to teeth up against the idiots. But if you have someone with a heart, they generally melt. You know what I mean? It's like, can we stop invading our neighbors? Could we please play nice? I do think we need a financial system that checks that's opt-in, and they have to choose light, and which is just simple. We're trying to play together. The dark side tries to be on top, and it's very painful. It's a huge gamble. And even when you're on top, you don't have your heart. You have these weird power surges, but like Putin is always having to check saboteurs. It's better to be nice and gentle and share. And sure, you could have more, but peace. As my AC goes off, quiet. You learn to be old. Old souls are like, at least there's not trouble today, And that's basically the way. The light side plays, they play, and they pay in dividends. It hurts me to say pay, because it's not really how it works, but the currency is heart, the currency is light, the currency is swagger, the currency is you becoming the coolest version of you, and but yeah, it's a dividend play. It's not like, I'm going to make the new crypto coin and I'm going to have the most. It's like, well, why don't we just set up something that doesn't bankrupt the grandmas and, seems to work, and we'll have enough, Technology's never been better. We should be able to figure this out. Things sprout out of the ground here quite easily. If we can't feed ourselves, what have we done, But we have to kind of shake and bake, because the systems that are, or were, they just rot, They don't necessarily crumble. They always have little strings they pull, but they just rot on us. It's not cool. So, anyhow, let's get ready to rise up, and I'll be the idiot who says something, and then, I don't know. Hit the little dinger. I will have something for you. Worst case, maybe 28 is the worst case. 27 would be, I should get it done this year. I'm going to try. Maybe July. And I'm going to send, and, sometimes bravery works, sometimes, that humble pie. But, we have to cherish these moments together. A lot has gone into this creation, and we're riding a huge wave and a ton of work that has occurred, and to not surf it with style would be a shame. Adios.